Hello everyone, how are you doing on this fine day? If you're new here, hi, my name is Noah and I am
The bookworm.
and here we talk about things to do with books and game books. But today we're actually doing a book tag. So this is the Spring is in the Air tag, and I was very kindly tagged by Books, Gers, and Purrs. Links to their channel is down below, also a link to their video, and links to the people who have originally created this tag with their owner and co-owner. So everything's down in the description, so go check them out. So, number 1, Spring Chicks. Name a book that made you feel warm and fuzzy. Weirdly enough, so this is difficult because I normally read horror, but I've kind of started to kind of dip my toe into like fantasy and sci-fi and fairy fantasy and stuff like that. And I'm actually gonna say this is gonna be really terrible, actually, and I'm so sorry. I'm gonna put this one in. It's I'm gonna say this with love in my heart. A Court of Mist and Fury. Now, wait, only because it's the first book that ever had a scene where it was just really chill. It wasn't that romance, fey fantasy thing that's going on. It was just a really nice scene that was between two characters with the night and fallen stars and shit like that. Probably sounds a little bit romantic, I don't know. But I was like, oh, that's made me feel really nice, warm and fuzzy. That's my favorite part in the book. Yay. Number 2, April Showers. A book that is set near or in the water, or that has the word water in the title. Now, so Ven will hate me for this one because I didn't really like this book as much as I did with the other books. This one is The Deep by Nick Cutter. It's a body horror type of book where there's like this disease or something that's going around the world, and his sibling is underground in this underwater facility to kind of help create a cure for it, and he kind of goes down there and things aren't what they appear to be or seem. Everything's just mentally messed up more than anything. I didn't really like this book, but because I had different expectations of what the blurb said to what I read. If I was to read it again, I would enjoy it a lot more. But considering I went from the troop to the deep, there's such a huge difference, and what the blurb says on the back of the deep is not. It's not what you think it is. It's mentally traumatic in a way. Spring break. Talk about time you took a break from reading and why. This is actually last year when I tried to read How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. Mentally, I wasn't in a good place to start when I read this book, but the start of the book was really depressing and it sent me through the loops. And I stopped reading for 3 months, and eventually when I kind of got past that, I started to read again, and I did enjoy the book, but the first half of the book I just couldn't do. It was like,
why am I reading this book? Why am I doing this to myself?
but you know, it is what it is. We have Swallow's Homecoming, a book or an author you always go back to for comfort. I have like 2 or 3, but the main one that I will always go back to, and most people think I would say Lovecraft, but it's not. It's actually L.J. Smith with the Nightworld series, mainly for nostalgia, because growing up was weird for everyone, but I always read that series over and over again to a point where I think the books just kind of fell apart and I had to buy special editions. It's extremely YA, but it's books that I enjoyed, you know. And they're basically about how there is a night world. There's this world that humans don't know because there are laws and secrets, which are like vampires, werewolves, ghosts, witches, anything you can possibly think of that has some sort of myth to it or folklore to it. They exist and they live in this night world where humans cannot know about anything. So and one of the main rules for being in the night world is you cannot fall in love with a human. And that's what it's all about, but without it just being instant love. For example, Daughters of Darkness, my top one. The main girl, can't remember her name. I think it's like starts with an M. I'm gonna call her M. Realizes that she has like this kind of connection with this vampire called Ash. Ash is not a good guy, and she instantly's like, I do not like you, and he's like, I don't like you either. And that's basically them just trying to get along while absolutely fucking hating each other. And I was like, yay, it's not instant love. That was really camp. Blooms. A book that started slowly but blossomed to be one of your favorite reads. Now, I'm not saying this is a favorite read. Guitar series, and I don't know why. It's really weird because, like, reading the first book, I was really not impressed with the first book. It was annoying. It was meh. But something just kind of kept dragging me back, and I'm like about to start the 4th book into the series, and it's become a really guilty pleasure and a comfort read in a really strange way. Which is weird because I love my horror. My whole like bookshelves that are everywhere that go taller than me. It's mainly just horror. But I'm just like, yeah, wings. Feyre's an idiot. I don't know. So, eggs in a basket. 3 books you want to read this spring. This I found difficult because I have a lot of books on my TBR and a lot of books that I really, really do want to read. But the main ones is that I really, really want to read that I've talked about, I don't know how long because I couldn't get it in the UK. Incidents Around the House, because it's now UK released. And that basically is the point of view of an 8-year-old who has this other mummy who basically wants to possess her and all that jazz, and how things kind of affects not only her but the house and the people in it. And, you know, horror, especially from a child's point of view, it'll be interesting to read, and I really want to read that. The other one is Cursebound, which is Feybound number 2 by Sarah L. Arifi, which is the first book that got me into kind of Fae fantasy, which is weird because it's not really focused on the Fae romance. I know what I mean. It's a good read, the first book. I'm excited to read the second one that came out, because it left on like a really ended very nicely, and I want to know what happens next. I enjoy the characters in the first book, and nothing was thrown in your face, and I love the way that the magic is in it. And the last one that I really want to read is Eat the Ones You Love by Sarah Maria Griffin. This is pretty much Little Shop of Horrors, but more horror. And Little Shop of Horrors is like my main musical, you know? But like the fact that there's a book kind of version of it, and it's more horror, queer and LGBT involved in that. I want that. I've got links down to the books below to Goodreads. Green Pastures, a classic that never gets old. War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. It was written well before its time, and it's aged very well. It's a fantastic read, and obviously I have the Jeff Wayne musical as well. It's one of my favourite classical reads, I guess. Pollen, a book or author you're allergic to. Colleen Hoover. The end. People I'm going to tag is Ven from Ven's Corner. We have Kat from Ginger Bibliophile, and we have Elaine, the beautiful Cobalt Dragon. Links down to their channels and everything down below. Please go give them a follow and a like and all that jazz. Stay awesome, and I will catch you all very, very soon. Much love. Bye. Ba-dum, ba-dum.